Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what we think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you have not yet joined us in Discord, guys, you are missing a trick. Check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. It's the first place we go to notify you the ins and the outs of everything that's going on in the crypto space in real time. Check it out in the description below. Okay guys, let's make a start here. Bitcoin paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source. So yesterday, Christmas Day, we did see a little bit of volatility. We saw these wicks come and take us down just a fraction lower, liquidate any long positions before taking that price up a little bit higher. We are obviously getting rejected, or have been rejected, I should say, from our supply area just up here. You can kind of see the supply label. This is basically an area of previous resistance. It's also where sellers seem to be lining up. And obviously this morning, early hours, this was no exception. We can also see that this is where we got rejected. Obviously at the lower end we have our demand area, and the demand area is obviously where all the buyers are. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this, because obviously at the moment we have been just trading sideways. What we're looking for is we're looking for a break above this supply zone so that we can start heading up to the higher, more major supply zone area. Okay, so we are expecting a move up here, but I'm looking at it, I'm thinking we might actually end up falling a little short. We'll have to see how that kind of goes. Let's go into this and measure the distance, right? So straight off the bat, we have this movement here. And we've actually retraced down a low to this one, shows us at about 17,116, whereas the actual supply zone itself is 17,274 through to the slightly higher range of 17,447. So we are probably going to be a little bit short on that. Let me show you what this looks like in an ABC structure, AB, and then coming up here into that C structure. So we can overextend, but again, we would want to, where possible, try to avoid the 17,363, unless of course the structure is very obviously not impulsive. But for now, we're going to leave that there. I have got this red line that's actually reasonably where I would expect that to kind of be hitting those impulsive points, but I don't think that's nearly what we're going to see. So as you can kind of see here, we were expecting this kind of C wave, this A, B, and C. This now looks like it's going to fall a little short here, just on this one. That basically would mean that our B wave would be down here rather than up in our supply zone. So we'll keep a close eye on that. We might just overextend a little bit. Alternatively, we might find ourselves with another little supply area coming in. And if I actually go back into the history here, I would say this is a super interesting area right there, and that could coincide quite nicely, okay, because in here we can see, I keep moving these things, over here you can see that this is an area that was previously previously demand, broken, we broke through, we turned it into demand, and then we moved up. So demand, broke it, broke through it, demand again, and then we haven't really retested it since losing it over this particular area. So it could be that actually this now becomes our supply area rather than this high one up here. So keep in their mind, you know, these things are possible that these lower targets, say they do change, or these high targets do change a little bit over time. So I'm going to leave that one in there to see if that does make sense. It coincides quite nicely with our $17,116 kind of target. Now in here we can see that we've moved up and we're kind of getting rejected. I would expect us to start thinking about a move upwards after a little bit further down. I don't think we're fully done yet. You can see this on the 1 hour chart here. The 4 hour and 8 hour are also overbought, so I would be expecting some kind of volatility around there as well, overall. So I still think we've got to come down a bit further before we can move up, but up here seems to be the direction I would be estimating us to go on here. Now, when we start thinking about the on-chain metrics, I'm just going to go through kind of some of the things that have been going on in the space here. So 12 million goes onto exchanges in 2022, 12.62 million coming off, or 12.05 going on, and 12.62 coming off. Basically, we see a little bit of static now. We're like calling off with the withdrawals from the exchanges. People are getting a little bit too complacent. The inflows and the outflows coming right down during the festivities, so pretty usual, nothing too unusual essentially going on with the lower volumes, specifically over a weekend period anyway, so that's not too much of an issue. Retail money still kind of piling in here, not getting shaken out of the space just yet. And as a result, obviously, big money is coming on out. They're not too involved. So sharks are still kind of doing what they're doing. Unusual behavior. We'll see how they fare going forward. But at some point, I do think these positions will decrease. Whereas the whales coming out, you can see that they continue to come down here. The krakens are not really doing anything. If we take a look at the 2022 whales position here, what do we see? Well, we can actually see that they've just been coming out for a very long period of time, and where they are right now is very much the same. We've been trading sideways here, and during these sideways trades, this is normally when you would expect retail money to kind of be coming out of the positions, and I think this is one of the reasons that we're going to see so much more bleeding in this space, is that retail is not willing to sell their Bitcoin just yet. So until they do, we're going to see deeper and deeper retracements, I do feel, because the whales are fishing here. They're looking for cheap Bitcoin, but until they find it, they will continue to drag this price down. They'll continue to use the liquidity and basically buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, and basically push people down into the depths of deeper bear market in order to be able to get those retail investors to sell, because at the moment the retail investors have just been coming in, buying every dip known to man, and eventually they will have to sell. They'll be forced into selling at some point as those prices pull back down, in my opinion. The Kraken size wallet, the larger ones, they've been accumulating in the bear market just in the same way that they did in 2018. Nothing terribly too unusual about this, and we're still waiting for all this Bitcoin to come into the market, flood the system and drag that price down, and I do think that is where a lot of the retail investors are going to get shaken out of the space. So all in all, when we take a look at everything that's going on, from the stuff that's going on in terms of the price chart and also all the on-chain data, there isn't anything terribly too exciting going on here. Nothing to get too excited about. Essentially, if I zoom out of this, you can kind of see that we are mapping a move to the downside. I still have this low mapped out at 13,200 through to about 14,000 on the higher side, and even here you can see that we are kind of working our way down into these movements, but I don't expect things to be, just over really quickly. I would expect them to kind of take their time here to get us down into these ranges. And when we are down into this low, I would expect us to see a significant surge to the upside afterwards. Whether 13K ends up being the actual bear market bottom, I do not know. It really does depend on what the retail investors and the whale investors end up doing, in my opinion. Following the money is a lot more important than following the candlesticks. The candlesticks and Elliott wave theory is obviously tracking people's behavior, which is why it's great. I love it. And if you're not familiar, then check out Cheeky School in the description down below and learn Elliott wave theory. It is a game changer when you actually get your head around it. So yeah, I think essentially here we shouldn't expect too much from Bitcoin. I do expect some volatility on the smaller timeframes, and essentially on the macros, we are looking for deeper retracements, and we are looking for moves to the downside in order for that money to start stacking up in the right positions with the unfortunately, I say right individuals. Obviously, we don't want whales investors to win, but they have a really good track record of winning, and retail investors always end up on the worst end of it. So do check where you where you align with this, and let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I will leave this video right there. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done now out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.